While it's true nations make commitments, it's often local governments that turn those plans and pronouncements into concrete action. That's certainly true for the Paris Agreement and the fight against climate change. In fact, Paris recently announced a push to become Europe's greenest city by 2030. Who better to tell us about their transformative progress than Paris's deputy mayor herself, Celia Bluel? And to lead this conversation, we're so lucky to have someone who's working to increase urban resilience across Southeast Asia, building productive green public spaces in dense urban areas and vulnerable communities. Thai landscape architect Kochkorn Varakam. Over to you both.
Hi, Syria. I'm really excited to be with the deputy mayors of Paris. The reason, hi, from Thailand. And I'm really excited because I am a landscape architect. And when we learn about green cities, about the park city, Paris is like on top of the list. And I'm wondering what would be your next goal of like greening the city, and especially we are looking forward to meet each other in Olympic in 2024. What's going to be a big change for Paris?
Well, hi, I'm really happy to be with you today as well. And actually always really proud when I heard that Paris is like one of the leaders, because many cities around the world are leaders. I would say that what is going to be really changing in the next decade, I hope so, is that we are really thinking of redesigning the city. I mean, Paris was built in the 19th century and we are really keen on protecting the patrimony. But the idea now is really to green it in the very real sense of that, meaning go forward in having more bike and less cars. We've been doing a lot of things like this, but also really planting till 200,000 trees, taking out the concrete in schoolyards, in streets, really greening it, which will be also really an important level of adaptation of our climate policy. So that's where we are. And actually, because adaptation is a big issue, more than what we thought by the past. But I guess that's something that is really also an issue for you in Bangkok, even more than in Paris. So how is the city transforming in your area?
Well, actually, I'm from Bangkok, Thailand, which is really a city of water. And as IPCC report recently came out that by the end of this century, the world will impact from the climate change 3 times faster than we're expecting. And by the end of the century, the expecting sea level rise will be 2 meters, which is actually going to sink my whole city under the water. And I just feel that adaptation is actually really a strategy that will move us faster, because we have to adapt. And I just feel that the water issues and high temperature and many more of like urban heat island and all these environmental issues become very critical at the moment. So I just feel that like having Paris as a leader and example just feel really like giving us so much hope.
Well, hope that we can manage it, because I don't know how it's for you, but still we have many debates about what we're doing, like patrimony defenders that don't really understand the urge of the climate issue. Also, we have that cultural battle and how we should transform. Lots of people still really believe in high technology to face climate change. And I guess we all acknowledge now that this is going to be part of it, but not only. And actually going back to more sober thing, low technology things will be the idea, like taking out the concrete, planting. We're working a lot also, which is not maybe logical, but with the farmers around Paris, that they change the way they are doing agriculture, more bio and organic, sorry. So I don't know if you have that cultural debate as well, like we have.
I think it's a critical point in my country and in my region, because the budget is always like always like a problem, and also the poverty problems, like climate change being putting in like the last on the list, because people still feel like we need to get food and education and many other things. So I just feel that what you are talking about is like involved like society, like we as a human to be part of this solution. And I think that's also will create an equitable society. It's not just like high technology so expensive. If we go to that direction, there are so many countries, there are so many vulnerable community couldn't afford to that things, and I don't think it's a real solution from how many of us on this planet confront this problem together. Yeah, I really agree.
Wow.
Yes.
Actually, in 2015, what we had is like, we had two issues. The first was to make like the more comprehensive strategy and to address everything that has like GHG emission from transportation, food, energy, and everything. But also we were at that point that we were thinking that even if we have the best politics ever, if we don't get people on board with us, meaning all vulnerable people to the more richest people in the economical fields, we won't make it and to that challenge. So right now, the idea of taking it, yeah, as you were saying, it's a humanity problem. I mean, we're gonna win together or lose together. So how to take people that have less means to live in every day and explain them that everything is linked is one of the biggest issue I guess we all have to face, and it's not that easy. And I would say we have something even harder right now after the COVID. I don't know how you feel about that, but like people didn't believe scientific fact about vaccine we say in English, I guess, and about the virus. So how are they going to understand the IPCC? Like it's years that we say there is an emergency. So we have something to deal with: education, taking people on board, explaining that everything is linked, economy, social, that we are framing something new. And we know it, but we have to share that now. This is like the issue we all have.
I think you are right, Celia, that this is not a problem of environment. It's actually in every aspect of human development. And I think climate change has been really like a great impact to all of us. But the pandemic is actually make it really clear who we are and how we are as a society. It's actually kind of review of all this vulnerable point that we haven't touched upon. And I just feel that this is, it's a worse situation, but it's a great situation for us to get together and have a conversation. I mean, real conversation. And I just feel that is that helpful having a female leaders like what you are working on right now to help fix all these conflicts?
Well, actually, I have like a big female leader in Paris, that is Anne Hidalgo. So I may say, yeah, I think it changed something, because it's the first one I see in the political field, not just saying, but doing things. I mean, we've got like in Paris 5 years ago, big deal with the industrial lobby that wanted really to tackle her down, and she just fought. So again, I don't like to make caricature, but I think, yes, today female leaders, and I see it in every city, especially now I meet you today, but I met people from Bogota, Mexico, Stockholm, Madrid, Barcelona, people that I'm working with in political world, and always there are young female and warriors. So I believe we are making something, and maybe we can help that conversation. I have the hope that with the COVID, we just stop for some minutes and we don't go back as business as usual after this crisis. But that means putting into question everything in our lives: how we consume, how we live, how we feel like we have to fly everywhere all the time. I mean, it means like having a real society debate. And maybe women can make it also, because we are maybe a bit less caricatural in the way we are having that power in our hands. I don't know.
No, but I'm really agree that it's more obvious in the Europe country or in North America that women step up more. But I'm sharing in the situation from the region that I'm from. I just feel that women still like being kind of left behind a little bit, especially in the politics or policy making kind of space. And also many other space that is become like a male dominant profession. But I just feel that having diversity, not only just women, there's so many genders these days, and I just feel that we need that kind of diversity because it's going to address a lot of equity of making decisions before we can conquer the big issue of climate change. Definitely.
But I think what will really make us conclude that, I mean, face it, it was for me a big lesson in 2015. It was as well that female leadership emerging, but also for me, it was the end of what I call the Star Wars world. I mean, you don't have like a stupid politician that don't understand climate change, scientists that are ringing the bell, big, nice NGOs, and horrible economical world. It's over. I mean, you have the one that are living in the ancient world and that they want like the last oil thing and money, and the other that are really thinking we have to build something other. It's difficult because we have white paper in front of us and it's very hard someday. And sometimes you fail, but if you don't try, you don't fail actually. And we have to invent everything on retrofit, on new jobs, on new way of living, of eating, of having pleasure. But at the end of the day, I'm very convinced that what we are inventing, it comes from anxious things to a really nice world to build, and actually a more equitable world too. Also where we could share wellness a bit more, but we have to go. The only things we could say today is that IPCC is urging again, and now we have to go. We have to stop talking in our big conference, an international conference. We have to implement, please, doing thing, and not just like have nice speeches in front of our peers, which is really important. And so happy to see all of you and inspiring people, but we need implementation now.
Yeah, I really hope for change in this COP26. And I hope that the little country like us will have more voice because we are most vulnerable. If you see in the map, it's not Paris that's going to be seen. It's not like all this developed world that's going to be gone in the map. It's actually us in Southeast Asia and in many islands country. And I just feel that like the concept of carbon budget, that we have to focus the same goal, but helping each other to achieve that goal rather than left many regions behind. I hope that in every table, especially COP26, just brings so much hope that we don't have just a beautiful speech and just the goal that we could have achieved and some act that we never care that should be done. And I hope that it changed to this COVID impact that we are confronting.
I agree with you. You know, in 2015, we developed at the same time that COP our adaptation strategy. It was a need for Paris, but it was also for us a way to put into light that question of adaptation that was more an issue for developing countries and less other countries that have less voice in COP21. So I guess this is like maybe the biggest issue also for COP is like we are humanity and we have to face that together. Otherwise, I think, and we start to see it in France, we're going to see like dark voices raising and the idea that we are better all together facing the others and climate change. And that's really like the stupidest thing ever because climate change doesn't know borders. So either we are together on the same boat or we're going to sing together. So that's really, really important to consider everybody at the same level. I totally agree with you.
Yeah, definitely like to the voice of like the region at risk from the climate change. And I just feel that we cannot just feel talking about Paris or Bangkok. It's great that we have a great leader, but it's also for us to feel the important and let's make it happen in our own ability. The cultural maintenance and many aspects that we cannot just copy Paris and then paste it in Bangkok. Geography and the impact of climate change that really, really different. So I hope that we move forward the same goal and respect each other and really find the right solution for each of location
Yeah,
in this planet.
global thinking and local acting. That's a very
Yes.
good conclusion. Maybe I'm just going to add a woman thing that some people would maybe smile, but as a woman, I'm also like a young mother for sometimes, and I'm really scared for the future of my kids. It seems silly to say that, but it's so true. So hope is like, for me, when I meet some people like you and some of the people
Yes.
gathering in that conference. So please just implementation and respect, and we'll make it. Thanks so much.
Let's
It was
make
really a
us
pleasure
right.
to listen to you.